A consonant conundrum?
P.
Nope, Erica.
G.
No, Greg.
K.
No. N.
Oh, no.
Oh. W.
No. There could be $10,000, could be a bankrupt.
I always said I was going to take it, but now I'm scared.
It's Wheel of Fortune. It's not torture.
Weeknights at 6:30 on NBC 12.
Pay attention. You might learn something.
The train's conductor is badly hurt.
It's good to see you. Working in your hood is going to shake you up.
If we're going to save him, we got to do it right here, right now.
Little 8-year-old boy. He's digging a big hole and the sides collapse.
If intelligence takes this case, it could get complicated.
I know things about you, too. When your mom lives.
The kitchen remodel project was a major project. After checking around, we went to Featherstone, and we were so glad we did. There was electrical work, plumbing, enlarging a doorway, and of course, all the cabinets, countertops, and fixtures. The minute I walked in the door at Featherstone, I knew I was in the right place. Featherstone coordinated every aspect of the project, the whole thing. They made it easy. And I can't say enough about how much we appreciated the personal attention Featherstone gave us.
Up North at 4 with Nate and Jeff starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Nate Myhock. On our show today, we'll sit down with the Border Troubadours to learn about their upcoming shows. I'll put Jeff's knowledge of theater to the test, and we'll play a bit of a word association game. We'll get to all that in a bit, but first, here's your top 4 at 4. A typical honeymoon usually consists of drinks, dinner, lying on the beach, and just relaxing. But for one Rhode Island couple, their honeymoon took quite the twist. Duran and David took their post-wedding trip to Barcelona, hoping to just take in the sights and the culture. However, it quickly turned into a life-or-death situation when they discovered a nursery building on fire. The couple was able to run inside and started grabbing babies to try and get them to safety. The two are being called heroes and will have a honeymoon story to tell for years to come. Well, we've done it again. We have another roadway food spill to talk about. This time, it's a truckload of watermelons in Massachusetts. The accident took place on Tuesday night and shut down both sides of the highway. The driver had minor injuries and will be okay, but I'd expect he'll get a call from Gallagher in the near future. In the very few times that I've traveled to the South, I didn't fully expect to be greeted by black bears. It just seems like it wouldn't be their environment. However, 2 black bear cubs are on the move, and they'll find their new home in New Orleans. The 2 orphan cubs have been living at a zoo in Alaska for the past few months, but zookeepers in New Orleans want one of their adult bears to finally have some company. So in a sense, everybody wins, and the 2 cubs can enjoy some nice weather during the winter months for a change. And speaking of Alaskan bears, we finally have a winner for the famous Fat Bear Week. This year's champion is bear number 747, and he is now on track for a dynasty. It's his second win in just 3 years. He weighs up to 1,400 pounds, and he is believed to be the largest bear who has ever visited the famous Brooks River in Alaska.
Okay.
All right. Hey, Bear 747 is a big bear. He's a big deal. Speaking of big deals, Jeff Weller.
You know what? That was kind of a boring road spill, though. You know, watermelon, come on. It's more fun when it's like beer or cheese curds or money. I agree, but whatever. All right, so weather-wise, a cold front came through. Did you feel it? I did feel it. It's a bit cooler outside today. In fact, we're about 20 degrees colder right now compared to this time yesterday, and that's not normal, putting us in the 50s for highs today, but falling ever since this morning. We're going to land down in the 30s, low 30s for low temperatures tonight. Right now, though, we're still at 55 in Rhinelander, 56 for Tomahawk, 49 for Medford. So it's, okay out there, but it's also breezy, making feel like temperatures in the 40s currently, as as the front has gone through. And now that the cold air is here, it's going to sit and spin over us for a couple of days around here. In fact, a reinforcing shot of cold air gets here on Monday. That could hold high temperatures Monday in the mid-30s. Are you ready for that? On paper, it looks like this. A big change, right? Yesterday, 76 degrees. Today, tomorrow, 42. 40 for Friday, meaning Friday, much of Friday spent in the 30s, and Friday evening, football games, game time temperatures likely near freezing. 44 for Saturday and the Sundays. Overall, a cool stretch of weather. The average high being about 57. We're not doing that anytime soon. What's coming our way, though, are a couple sprinkles tonight that could easily mix with a couple of snow flurries this evening, and that's going to stay with us, not just for tonight, but for tomorrow and the next day. The next thing you see here, it's going to sit and spin over us for several days. As temperatures drop, we'll get some light snow out of that and some flurries. And there's a couple computer models now that by, say, Monday, want to give us maybe an inch or two of snow across north central Wisconsin. Again, it won't stick, but overall you get the idea. We are heading into mid-October around here. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly cloudy skies, some sprinkles and a few flurries out there with low temperatures down near 35. Your full forecast at 5 o'clock.
Punishing inflation, retirement savings evaporating, home values crashing, and Mandela Barnes is oblivious. Barnes just supported a massive tax increase on middle-class families and an army of IRS agents to go get every penny. Barnes also supported Biden's student loan forgiveness plan that cost every taxpayer $2,000. $2,000 less to survive on. Can you afford Mandela Barnes? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Light up your workspace with a new work light from Smart Electrician. This 10,000 lumen LED work light is super bright, weather resistant, and portable. Shine light where you need it with 11% off all work lights. Get your yard work done with a new powerful leaf blower from Works. Works power tools make fall cleanup projects quick and easy. All Works outdoor power tools are 11% off at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Don't like paying taxes? Neither does Mandela Barnes. Barnes didn't pay thousands in property taxes he owed. Barnes failed to pay his taxes, but he wants you to pay more. He supported raising Wisconsin's gas tax nearly 30%, even though we already pay some of the highest gas taxes in the country. And he supported a $1 billion tax increase on Wisconsin families and an income tax as high as 70%. Mandela Barnes, another tax-raising, hypocritical politician. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
I can see you in it. You got your Firm Plush, Ultra Plush Plus. Just pretend I'm not here. My name is Richard. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process, giving you the freedom to have a comfortable experience. Right now, get 30% off select mattresses. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
Border Troubadours.
Border Troubadours.
Which is a bit of a mouthful, but Cindy, what the heck are the Border Troubadours? What's this group all about?
Well, Border Troubadours is a community theater group, and we are based, border, Land O'Lakes and Watersmeet. We have people participating in Eagle River as well, but we all perform for the fun of it because we love it. We're excited about sharing our special brand of entertainment with the community. We always perform free of charge, and we support local organizations. So when we are at Three Lakes Center for the Arts on October 27, presenting our original play, Dating Fiasco, Sweet Revenge, we are doing that as a benefit for the Arts Center. They need a new roof and many other things. And then when we are in Land O'Lakes on the 27th for a matinee at 1 p.m. at Ely Memorial Church, we are supporting the Headwaters Food Pantry with Paranormal Paranoia, the Haunted Trestle Bridge. And that has to do with the famine, the big hunger in Ireland and people coming to this country. And also about paranormal activity in Adrian, Michigan. And then Boston's in there somewhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Cindy, you mentioned, special brand of entertainment. So we can probably label this thinking outside the box, bringing some interesting things to life. How would you describe that to people who have not gone to these shows?
First of all, we're always extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
We prefer music. We always have music in our shows. So we have a little band of us that perform all the time. Ukulele, guitar. We have a drummer now for the last couple of shows. And we try to include some poetry. So in Paranormal Paranoia, for example, we have a wonderful Thomas More piece. He was an Irish poet. And Susie Whip is doing an oral interpretation of that. And it's called The Lake of the Dismal Swamp. And then we have been doing a lot of original plays that I have been writing. I was looking for material for people in our age bracket, basically retired, although we've picked up a few younger people lately, which we could talk about that at length. And so because we're trying to cater to the people here in the North Woods, I think our shows are very relatable to people. So we have a lot going on. In Paranormal Paranoia, we're going to have a game show first that people can win door prizes. So, yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved. They can come enjoy the shows, obviously. I want to touch on this, though. You mentioned that you have written several plays now, including one of these shows coming up is an original written, I'm assuming primarily by you. What goes into that? And I don't even if you asked me to sit down and write a play, I wouldn't even tell you where to start. So how does that sort of process begin for you?
So what happens is, we started as just a reader's theater troupe. And I would put out there, let's say we did a show called Snippets, Life in the Real World. And I was encouraging members to write things. And so they were writing, I was writing, we were writing skits. Then we just were kind of morphing into doing plays. And I was looking and I couldn't find things that I really liked. And I can write better than this. I can write better than this. So I started doing that. And our first show, I think it's our breakthrough show, we did hard water fishing, mishaps, and misadventures, including a helicopter rescue in Lake Superior. And everybody loved doing it. We had such a great reception. We had a wonderful crowd of people who came to see it because everyone loves to ice fish. It's a common theme up here. Then we followed up with pontoon excursions and escapades. Well, we all go pontooning. Everybody loves that. People know about that. Yeah. Sisters Unintended Consequences. That's about relational things as you get older and maybe your parents pass away. So, I just keep, I don't know where it all is coming from. I honestly don't. I've always written. I was a poet. I'm writing stories. I have children's books that are coming out now. So, I'm going a little nuts. But these people are willing to be crazy with me. So that's the best part of it, right? Yeah, and we have a really solid core troupe of people. People have come and gone. A few people have moved. Someone sadly passed away. So, we want people to join us by coming out to see our shows, but we want participation too. We're looking for new members always.
Yeah. I love this so much. Everything about this, just like the tangents you can go on to write a play, to make forms of entertainment. I think this is so much fun.
Screenplay, the music, the lines, you bring it all to life. So it's coming up. So how can viewers see what you have to put out there?
Well, we have a Facebook page for Border Troubadours, so people can connect up that way. They can always reach me personally. And Chamber of Commerce, all the chambers have our information. So that's out there. October 22nd, 7 p.m. at 3 Lakes Center for the Arts. That's a Saturday night. Bring your best gal, guy, whoever, and come and see us. Or at Ely, the 27th of October on Thursday, 1 p.m., a matinee. That's just going to be so much fun for everybody. And I think that's what everybody can feel and tell from us is that we are having fun and we want everyone to be entertained and have a good time too.
In the meantime, Cindy, this has been so much fun chatting with you and learning about the troupe so much, and we appreciate you taking the time. In the meantime, we got to take a break. We'll be right back on Up North.
Thank you.
Food for Kids needs volunteers for October 22nd. To help, go online or call today.
Are you ready to win? Play the Halloween Bingo Bash Saturday, October 29th. $300 Witches Brew game. And all regular games pay $125. Costume contest with cash prizes. Check out the Halloween Bingo Bash Saturday, October 29th. Only at the Mole Lake Casino and Lodge.
When Kenosha burned, Tony Evers fanned the flames.
He blamed police.
When we needed help, he refused.
For days.
I know.
Because we were there.
Evers puts politics over our lives.
Over your lives.
That's why we support Tim Michaels.
As a veteran, Tim Michaels won't abandon us.
Tim Michaels will have our back.
And stand strong against violent crime.
We're with Tim.
You didn't live this strong, this long, to get put on the shelf like a porcelain doll. But 1 out of 2 women over 50 will suffer a fracture from osteoporosis. You should know you can build new bone with Evenity for postmenopausal women with osteoporosis at high risk for fracture. Ask your doctor if you can do more than just slowing down bone loss with Evenity. Want stronger bones? Then build new bone. Evenity can help in just 12 months. Evenity is proven to reduce spine fracture risk by 73%.
Evenity can increase risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from a cardiovascular problem. Do not take Evenity if you have low blood calcium or are allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions and low blood calcium have occurred. Tell your doctor about jawbone problems, as they have been reported with Evenity, or about pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred.
Don't let a break put you on a shelf. Talk to your doctor about building new bone with Evenity.
Check out the tribute to the King, Elvis. Free show starring award-winning Elvis tribute artist Dakota Pongratz. Saturday, November 19th, 8 to midnight. Mole Lake Casino and Lodge, where everyone is treated like a king.
Welcome back here to Up North at 4. That was an awesome chat we had with Cindy.
She's so fun. So fun.
I know. And, like, trust me, that was, like, edited down. We talked for a long time just about, like, her thought process, what kind of goes into writing her play. It's seriously, like...
She has a lot of thoughts in her head that are trying to get out. We're helping her do that.
Yes. Cindy was so much fun. And, but, you know, we were talking about theater, the Border Troubadours, and I wanted to just kind of know how well Jeff knew theater, right?
Well.
Did you do theater like in high school growing up?
Not at all.
Not at all? Okay. Well, I'm going to test your knowledge here.
Okay.
So Broadway, naturally, the most famous theater destination in maybe the world?
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Let's see how much you know Broadway here, Jeff, all right?
Okay, what we got?
I got some questions for you. We're going to see how well you do. Let's see if we can't pull it up, this first one I got for you. I'm confident in you. I'm surprisingly confident in you this time. So we'll start simple. When did Broadway gain popularity?
Simple. This isn't simple.
Is simple. Is it either 1796, 1867, 1883, or 1903? Jeff,
Let's do
what do you think?
D, 1903.
You think 1903, the last, I guess, last century?
Oh, shoot.
1883. There's some debate over one, but I think it's generally...
Oh, there's debate? So I'm right?
Generally believed 1883 is when it really hit the
Generally believed.
That's just what people are saying, Jeff. Don't get mad at me.
All right, next question.
All right, next one, if we can pop it up, por favor. What is the nickname for Broadway? Is it the Great White Way, Actors Boulevard, the District, or Playbill Way? What do you think?
What do you guys think? I know this one. It is the Great White Way.
You think you know this one?
Yes.
You positive? You sure?
Yes.
It is the Great White Way. They call it that because they had all the signs back in the day, so it was the Great White Way. They had the white signs. It looks really cool back in the day.
You know, it'd be fun to kind of just stroll down this street in the middle of winter, some flurries in the air. You know, I would want to do that.
All right. You're back on track here, Jeff. That's
1-1.
Not too bad. So here's one. We're actually going to talk about the shows that you might see on Broadway. So let's start here. What is the highest grossing show in Broadway's history? Is it Mamma Mia, Wicked, The Lion King, or Cats? I know
I think it's between C and D, Lion King and Cats. I'm going to go...
You're narrowing it down?
I'm going to go with Cats.
They're both about cats, if you think about it.
D. Oh, shoot.
The Lion King, which actually, fun fact I learned today, debuted on Broadway 10 days before I was born.
Really?
You didn't know that.
And it made
That's
a lot
not
of
one
money.
Of the questions, but that is just a fun fact. All right. So 1 for 3 so far. Let's see if you can end on a good note. This one is kind of similar. So we know The Lion King is the highest grossing show on Broadway of all time. But which show has the most performances of all time? Do you think it's The Lion King? Could it be Les Mis, Chicago, or The Phantom of the Opera? Just think, The Lion King, highest grossing.
It doesn't mean the ticket price was the highest, though. So I'm going to go with C, Chicago.
You think Chicago? Yeah. It is actually The Phantom of the Opera. That is the most performances of all time on Broadway. So you don't know, you're not a
I don't know
thespian.
theater.
You're not a thespian, Jeff, right?
No.
Well, thanks for playing along. 1 for 4 is not bad. It's not
Yes, it is. It's failing.
I was trying to hype you up
Make me
a little
feel
bit.
better.
In the meantime, though, Jeff, we got to play another game. That's after the break. Stick with us on Up North at 4.
I'm Sheriff Jim Johnson.
I'm Sheriff Eric Severson.
We've got the real story on Mandela Barnes.
Barnes wants to defund our police, but he spent over $600 grand of your money on police protection for himself.
Barnes wants to eliminate bail for violent felons, and his administration has already released over 800 criminals, including 44 child rapists.
Take it from us.
Mandela Barnes policies are a threat to your family.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Your home, where life happens. Family and friends gather. Memories are created. Locally family-owned business serving Rhinelander, Eagle River, and surrounding areas. Come into one of our stores located in Eagle River or Rhinelander and work closely with one of our creative kitchen designers on creating your dream kitchen.
Eagle River Cabinets, building relationships, a cabinet at a time.
It was a constant pain. It did not go away. It was constant. I said to my husband, we are making a phone call and going. That was the first treatment that I had with laser, and it's just so wonderful. I just relaxed. I feel I should have went sooner, and I didn't, but my knees are pain-free. It's just wonderful.
Just because chronic pain is common doesn't mean you have to live with it.
Call 844-200-PAIN to schedule your no-cost consultation.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Food for Kids needs volunteers for October 22nd. To help, go online or call today.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. So if you watched the show yesterday, Jeff and I spoke a lot about everyone's favorite rapper, Kanye West. I used the term to describe him, a psychopath. Jeff thought that was a little harsh. I felt like that was very fair and within my rights. So we decided to play a little bit of a word association.
Yeah.
We each have a list of 5 people, mostly celebrities. We're going to say them to the other person. First word that comes to mind, you say it. So, Jeff, we're just going to start. I came up with you, Kanye West. First word.
Mess.
Mess.
He's a mess.
Is it fine if I say psychopath? Because that's what comes to mind.
This seems so harsh to me. It just seems like, not that a hot mess isn't harsh, but it's just, he's got a lot on his mind that he's, think through.
That is a very polite way of saying that. All right, Jeff, what do you got for me?
Karens.
Karens. Like the group of people that, scream at managers?
Yes, Karens? For no reason.
Well, the first word I don't think I can say on live television. Okay. So I'll say ornery.
Okay.
Is that a good one?
Yep. Right. My next one is Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. All right. Elon, ego.
Oh, that's Aaron, yeah.
Elon, I'm thinking ego.
Ego?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. Yeah, I just, I think of Elon. I think this whole thing with him is going to end, spectacularly. It's just going to, where is this going? He's got way too much money and has no idea what to do with it.
Speaking of people with ego, I got one for you if we can go back. I think we might have given it away.
What is it?
It's everyone's favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. What do you think when you think of Aaron Rodgers?
I think it's time he retires.
That's more than one word. All right, I'll let that one slide.
It's just time, It's okay, he's had a great run.
Time.
Can
we go with time? Is your one word? All right, Jeff. What do you got next for me?
The Snl Cast, the new Snl Cast.
Cast of SNL.
Yeah.
funny? I don't know. I haven't seen the new season yet. Is that bad to admit?
That's part of this because the new season has almost a brand new cast, right?
Okay.
So the shows have been a bit different.
Okay.
So yes, they're funny, but
it sounds like you don't like them.
Well, the humor's changed a bit, right?
Okay.
They got, you know how like in high school football we talk about like rebuilding years?
Yes.
I think that's happening right now with the SNL
So this
cast.
is a rebuilding group.
This is a rebuilding
Okay,
year
so if you said
cast.
rebuilding,
that would work.
That's a good one.
That would work.
All right. So,
okay.
Can I go next?
Yes.
Here? All right. So I had my guy, Aaron Rodgers, sports. It's my background. I got a weather one for you here.
Okay.
My favorite, Reed Timmer.
Yeah.
The Storm Chase. I used to love his show growing up. First thing that comes to mind with Reed Timmer.
Twister.
Like the movie?
The movie Twister.
Okay.
Yes.
Because you mentioned one time you worked with
Right.
Reed,
I went to OU, Oklahoma, and I actually worked with Reed at a TV station in Oklahoma City. So I know Reed.
You know Reed pretty well. You guys tight? You're friends?
No. We're not. No, it's been 15 years, but it's just I know Reed.
I want to get him on the show. That'd be a dream come true for me. Jeff, this was fun. See, you can see.
Are we
now.
done?
We're done.
Oh.
But you can see now what happens when you just think of a person like Kanye and Psychopath. So I just wanted to prove a point to Jeff.
It seems so harsh to me.
In the meantime, we'll be back here on Up North at 4. Stick with us after the break.
I would never bill someone twice for the same job. But Tim Michaels has a record of doing just that. Michaels billed Wisconsin taxpayers twice for the same construction job, totaling $400,000. And you and I paid for it. And once he was caught, Michaels tried to charge the taxpayers an extra $52,000 just to fix it. That's totally dishonest. I never trust anyone like that as governor. Tim Michaels is wrong for Wisconsin.
Visit Wildberry Market, the premier natural food store in the North Woods, for all of your organic food and health needs. Grab a healthy lunch on the go, made fresh daily by our deli. Eat well, live well, be well. Wildberry Market in Minocqua and online.
Come to Carpet City Flooring Center's biggest sale and get the best for free. Through Saturday, get free installation on our best-selling carpet, free estimates, and interest-free financing. That's right. Free carpet installation, free estimates, and interest-free financing. Only at Carpet City Flooring Center. Come see why contractors and designers choose Carpet City Flooring Center for their flooring needs. And get the best for free.
Carpet City, our prices will floor you.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Here in Wisconsin, you should be able to walk down the street and not worry about crime. I'm Josh Call. As a former federal prosecutor and your attorney general, I've put murderers, drug traffickers, and sex offenders behind bars and kept them there. And I worked with Democrats and Republicans to change the law so rape kits don't sit around untested. I know there's more to do, but I will not stop until you and your family are safe, no matter what neighborhood you live in.
Welcome to Patchouli Garden in Park Falls. We love authentic Indonesian patchouli and we specialize in our original custom blends. Everything with the Patchouli Garden name on it we make right here in our store. Visit Patchouli Garden in the store or online.
All right, Jeff, we were talking earlier today. You brought up the S word.
Yeah, we are in a pattern now where the atmosphere has changed, right? Okay. So it's cooling off. We have a low pressure nearby. It's going to spin over us for a couple of days. We could see some snow flurries tonight and tomorrow and for Thursday and for Friday and maybe even some light snow on Monday. So we'll see.
I don't like that. It's
mid-October. Embrace it, Nate. Embrace it.
November, sure.
We want the polar vortex. We want some snow. Let's have the snowiest winter on record. It's great for tourism. Yeah. So let's just wrap our arms around it and love it a little bit.
I'm going to be on the side of I don't want that. Thank you, though, Jeff. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Up North at 4. Thanks for watching.
To thank our retired veterans, Honor Flicks presents a special showing of Top Gun Maverick at the Anago Palace Twin Theater October 18th. Showtimes 2:45 and 5:15.
Over 800 convicted criminals released. 270 murderers and attempted murderers released. 44 child rapists released. Tony Evers' parole commission has released hundreds of violent criminals early, including some of the worst killers in Wisconsin history. Evers' liberal policies are making our communities less safe. Tony Evers put criminals first and our family's safety last.
Wet basements, cracked walls, musty crawl spaces, and settling concrete only get worse with time. And the longer they're left untreated, the more money they cost to repair. SureDry has been focused on stabilizing foundations and repairing basements and concrete for over 28 years. We understand the root causes of foundation and concrete problems and work closely with those we serve to develop permanent solutions. If you have concerns with your foundation or concrete, call us for a free estimate today. Because these issues won't get better with time, they only get better with